Nothing like a 5 a.m. wake-up call. Many, many years ago, the best decision I ever made was to...
Marry me?
No, get scuba certified.
Yes.
That's what we are doing today.
All right, well, hopefully you guys got a chance to see our Costa Rica video when we traveled to Costa Rica.
That's been like 2 months ago.
Yeah, if you haven't, go watch it. It was an amazing trip. It was really fun. We had a lot of good times, but we left part of that trip out. Julie and I are both scuba certified, and while we were scuba diving, we had a very scary near-death experience.
We thought it was best to give that experience a little bit of time, a little bit of space. We got permission from our sister-in-law to post this video. And anyway, so we want to share the story with you guys because it's just something that we think about often and we don't want to take life for granted, so.
Yeah, so this trip started off on a bad foot anyway. I had forgotten the GoPro, which we wanted to show you guys some cool underwater footage. I had forgotten the GoPro.
Landon. Scott Drew. Golly darn it, you.
You got the freaking GoPro.
But we got out, we did our first dive to go dive with sharks, and my sister hadn't dove for a little while, and so she was a little anxious on this dive. She was a little nervous down at the bottom, breathing through her air pretty fast, and ended up coming to the surface just a little before everybody else did. Then we took a boat ride out to our second dive site.
We had gotten nitrox certified, and so we were able to go lower than we usually do. So usually we go about 40 feet down in the ocean. This time we were able to go down 90 feet down into the ocean. So we were down there quite a ways.
So on our second dive, we got in, we descended to about 90 feet, and then
we were probably down there for like 1 minute.
Just, yeah, not long at all.
Yeah, and I looked over at my sister-in-law Laura and just knew something was not right.
So we made an emergency ascent when we realized something wasn't right, and here's our conversation in the car recounting what had happened afterward.
What was weird is my head like started to hurt, so I like was adjusting my goggles, and I was like, oh, that's weird, and it wasn't my goggles too tight or anything, and then like what's really weird is I just like felt and like heard this really distinct voice like, Laura, you need to get out of here. I don't know if that was just my head or...
Absolutely not.
But I just like grabbed Reed's arm and I just like, I think I like looked at him and then I don't remember anything else.
I looked at you and your face was just gray. I could tell there was no movement in it.
The minute I saw your eyes, I was like, there's nothing wrong. Like there's something wrong here.
I didn't, like the thing is, maybe it's because I was like having like anxiety, but I felt calm, like on the last dive, I felt anxious. Yeah. And like even before the first dive we went on, I knew like, oh, I was feeling anxious and stuff, and then I thought I was going through my air too fast on the first dive, but on this other one, I was like, oh, I feel great. I feel like I can actually like breathe really well, so I was feeling fine. So I don't know if it was, like I didn't feel anxious on that dive, but maybe, I don't know, I like panicked still. I have no idea what happened. I really did, like, because I remember like looking at Brayden too, like right before, and I did.
Yeah, you did be
okay.
okay.
I did like okay and everything.
Yeah.
And I
You
was,
need to be okay.
yeah, I was feeling good.
Because I asked if you were okay, you said okay to me. She looked at you, you're like, oh, I'm okay. And then we started descending a little bit further, and that's when you grabbed my arm, and I looked over at you, and I saw your eyes. I was like, "This doesn't look good."
So
I didn't
what
see
even
her-
happened? Like I don't.
I didn't.
No
Well, we were
idea.
like right next to you, so like they signaled like we need to go up.
I
And
saw-
just thought like maybe you were like kind of panicking a little bit or something, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, like no big deal. We'll just go get her back on the boat. And then like I got up to the surface and like all
No,
hell
I
broke
knew
loose.
something was wrong. That was the longest ascent for me because it was just me and you going up
Yeah.
holding hands together, and all I saw was bubbles because we were
I
just
couldn't. Yeah.
we were just shooting
We
up
were
this,
chasing
and it
our
was
bubbles.
the longest to get up to the top. And as soon as we got up, all of us were like trying to help Laura with all of our, equipment on, trying to get into the boat.
Yeah,
and so I was just holding her sweet little
'cause
chin
her head
up.
was
Her head
flopping in
kept
the
flopping
water.
down like this.
I think your regulator fell out, what, maybe halfway up in the ascent? So
Not
you-
too
It
far.
was up the entire way.
Yeah.
It was,
Okay.
The
It
regulator
was-
were taken out by
when
me
everyone
and
was
her,
trying to
'cause we
get
went mouth
into
to
the
mouth
boat.
on Laura, and that's why the regulator came out of her mouth.
You did mouth to mouth
We
on
pulled
Laura?
it out because I didn't know if she was breathing, so she pulled it out, and then I went mouth to mouth, and then Sylvie went mouth to mouth. We kissed the woman today.
Oh my gosh, you
I
kissed
didn't
a
know
girl.
that. So then while you guys were getting into the boat, I was just holding her face up out of the water.
And
I heard it
threw my fins off. Braden ripped his fins off, got up, and just grabbed you by underneath the arms and bear clawed you up into the boat. We all scampered on, got you breathing again.
Held your feet up, took
Like-
your wetsuit off, and warmed her up.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you did mouth to mouth either. That's crazy.
Well, I just didn't know, like, I couldn't feel, like, it was wet and water, like,
Oh,
if she's breathing much.
Yeah, you
and
have
so,
no
like,
idea.
I just, like, put my mouth in front of her thing, and I was like, I don't know what to do, so I was like, put her mouth, and then Sylvie blew in your mouth, and then the boat was, like, pushing us down. The boat's, like, floating on top of our head, and Laura's head is flopping.
So was I breathing? Like
No.
what? No.
So, yes, though, that's what Sylvia was saying. She's like, if they're not breathing underwater, the regulator just falls out on its own, but you actually kept the regulator in. She had the cord, but your mouth was still on it, so you were still breathing on the way up, like unconscious breathing, right?
Probably very slow. Yeah. 1 or 2 breaths on the way up, probably though.
It didn't take too long for us to ask you to wiggle your toes and blink, and you were able to.
Just glad you're still here. I was like, if we lose Laura on this trip, so help me. I would not want to lose a sister like that.
Could you imagine? You probably never gone on a family vacation. I was the one that was like,
ruined our family vacations forever.
You would stain on all things. No, my feeling was just like, I gotta get back to her daughter. I gotta get her back to Addie. Like, I don't know.
You were cute to watch. I mean, obviously it was all sad, but Reed was, no, not my Laura, not Laura.
Take Landon instead, please.
Please don't take the girl.
Please take Landon. He's over here. He doesn't care.
the worst part is when I like finally feel like I came to on the boat ride. I was just like sobbing, but no one could like.
I
no
saw
one
you.
could see me.
I
I was just
saw
like.
you.
I could see your tears. I could tell that you were sad,
I was just,
but
like,
couldn't
felt like
say
I was
anything.
bawling, 'cause I was like, what just happened?
Oh.
It's gotta be such a weird experience to like wake up and have all these people like,
Am I still under the ocean? Am I, what's going on?
Goodness, we love you.
So now that you've heard the story a little bit, there's a couple of unique things about this dive. First of all, this is the only time I've ever been on a dive when the dive instructors of the boat say, hey, just FYI, if you ever need oxygen, like medical oxygen, it's under here. Never before has anybody ever said that. So we knew where it was, we could get to it right away, we got oxygen on it right away. There was another boat in the ocean right next to us. They gave us extra oxygen. Beyond a throbbing headache, Laura ended up being okay. We revived her, we brought her back, got her to an ambulance, everything worked out okay. We're just lucky that we still have her. It's a scary thing to be that far under
It
the water.
was a scary day. Like, I don't know if we were able to show our emotions enough, like, while we had the conversation in the car afterward, but it was a really scary moment.
Of all groups of people that you're gonna have an emergency with out in the middle of the ocean where no one can help you, we have Julie, who's a nurse, me with a lot of medical background, and my brother, who's a firefighter paramedic. So between the three of us, we kind of had it handled. The captain of our boat didn't speak any English. Our dive master was from France and did pretty well with English, but
She was amazing. She was really calm and helpful, though. Yeah.
the captain had no idea what to do, and we're like,
Just
We're-
drive the boat.
we're okay.
Drive the
Just
boat
get
as
us
fast
back.
as you can.
Get us back.
It was like a 45-minute boat ride back to the ocean or to the beach while there was an ambulance waiting. They didn't do much after. By the time we got to the beach, Laura had woken up enough. She was talking, like, literally, like, right as we were getting to the beach. She's like, I think I'm good now. So they took her vital signs and then called it good.
made sure she didn't have water in her lungs. But
Yeah.
we got really lucky. We know there's risk with this every time we go, and we're just glad that we still have Laura with us.
Yep.
After a little bit of a traumatic day, we decided to go relax in the hot tub.
No, you gotta do the flamingo.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
All right, Laura, you have to tell us. Are you feeling a little bit better?
Oh, I really am feeling a lot better. A little better. Yes.
Amanda just asked if Landon feels awkward or uncomfortable. And I said, no, he feels very confident. His natural
her natural habitat.
It's so tight landed.
Oh, hey, mother.
She brought her purse. I said it's gonna get all
Oh, yeah, don't bring your purse. Here. I'm glad you guys are coming with us in the rain.
Yeah.